Good evening. Welcome to this live stream of this latest edition of Foxes Unleashed. I'm Ryan, and I'm going to be doing the preview of tomorrow's game um, of of Sheffield United versus Leicester City. It's going to be quite an interesting encounter. Um, we just come back of a win a couple of days ago against Derby. Um, which I thought I watched it that night. I thought it was a bit of a flat encounter. Really, it wasn't much excitement. Bit scrappy, but we got the job done. We got the 3 points against Derby. Yeah, it eased the pressure off Manchester United a little bit, but I'm still even when I watched it, I was still not quite inspired by what I watched in terms of the performance. But the job was done. We got the win, and that's all that matters, really. Um, but that's just the way we are, unfortunately. You just don't know what team or performance you're going to get. You don't know what team's going to turn up. We're just We're just consistently inconsistent. That's what we are. So, anyways, Sheffield United against Leicester tomorrow. Um, yeah, I don't know what time the kickoff is. Need to have a check for myself. Let's have a look. Yes, there it is. It's 5:30 kickoff time. So yeah, I'll be tuning in, obviously, to the lads on blue tinted glasses and that, and I'll be watching the game on on a stream if I can access it, but who knows? But um, yeah, it's yeah. The, the reverse fixture we got beat 3-2. We were 3-0 down at the half time, or after 30 minutes. That was the reverse fixture was so bad. It was unbelievable, and yeah, we just gave them the game after 30 minutes. It was unbelievably bad. Goodness me, that was wretched. It was a rotten watch. And that was the last time we saw Ralph Faze and Harry Winks play. We haven't, and since then they haven't featured since. So hopefully that's an indicator that both of them two will be out of the door. Hopefully this upcoming January transfer window coming up. Um, so yeah, that's going to be an interesting development on what happens there. Um, Now we had an interesting news that came through today within the space. I think this came through this morning. I think only lunchtime or something like that about Julian Carranza. Um, his loan deal is set to be terminated and is about to sign a 4-year contract with a Mexican club. I think it's Nexcasa. I can't remember what the name. I can't remember the exact club, but it's a Mexican club that he's set to go to on the 4-year contract. Obviously, the loan deal for Julian Carranza hasn't worked out. He hasn't featured at all since the Middlesbrough game. That was back in, I think that was back early last month. I think it might have been 7 or 8 weeks ago or something like that. The last time we saw him on the pitch, it just really when we've seen him, he's been a major disappointment. It just hasn't really worked out. He's he's not a bad player, but we just haven't really played to his strengths at all, and that is a bigger disappointment. He hasn't done enough in the games that we did see him to really sustain, to really stake a claim, really to be playing, and it, I wish him all the best to the next stage of his career. The club he's going to, which is a Mexican club. Um, so I wish him all the best on that. Now, I know I'm going to be talking about Aaron Ramsey now. Apologies, Bloody the Glasses people. Um, I know certain people. I know those lads disagreed with what I was saying that night because they obviously have made their minds up about Ramsey and seem to want um, his loan deal to be terminated and want him sent back. And obviously that's their opinion, and they're in their rights to think that way. If that's what they think, then that's fine. And obviously, I was trying to reason with them a little bit, but I probably just went about it slightly the wrong way. To be fair, and probably shouldn't have done that, but I just got a bit. The reason I was just a little bit annoyed. You know what I mean? Um, and obviously, they were trying to make me understand that there's going to be disagreements with what my views are and that kind of thing. And yeah, and that's fine. I get that, and I'm not going to sit here and say them for that because they're they're no they're obviously done um, watching on to know about this kind of thing, and they're more experienced than me. Obviously, when it comes to live streams and that, particularly locks, and that's I can't slate that, and that's something I'm going to have to learn at some point. I knew I was probably sorry for going a bit off topic, but this is something I was walking into a little bit, and obviously someone else mentioned I needed to have a bit of a thicker skin, which to which I would admit it's probably true. Maybe I might need to have a bit of thick skin because obviously I'm new to this kind of thing, so it's taken a little bit of a learning curve a little bit for me um, on that. So yeah, obviously my view on Aaron Ramsey hasn't changed um, on whether I want him to stay or or being sent back. I've not changed my view still. I still want him to stay because I still think there's more to give. We don't know, obviously, um, the extent of his injury. Obviously, that so obviously that will depend on how long his injury is. So if it's say if it's a season-ending injury and that kind of thing, or near to an end and season-ending issues. Say if he's out for and it's more of a serious one, and he's out for how long? Let's just use an example: 4 or 5 months, or something like that, or even for the rest of the season. If he's ruled out, then then I would say, or even I'd say 3 months. Then you can say, fair enough. I totally I would totally understand why um, it will make logical sense to send him back because the last thing you want um, is to keep someone in the squad that's going to be out for an lengthy period of time. So I think that's what the lads were trying to get at and with me when I was making those comments and that kind of thing. That's particularly Luke, because we were pretty much at each other a little bit, a little bit. But hey, it's different opinions, and that's just the way it is. Um, um, that's just the nature of the beast. Um, but if it's a shorter, medium term injury, like even if it's a few weeks out, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't say it's enough to make me think it's worth sending him back. It's not. If it's a few weeks out, or if it's like a month or a couple of weeks, then I wouldn't. That doesn't. That does not really give a good enough reason to send him back, in my view. That's just my opinion on it. Um, no one's now probably many would disagree with that, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine, and I've got no problem with that. That's just the way it is. It's debates, it's different opinions. We have to. That's something I need to learn and accept a little bit. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I hope they makes the last on Blue Titty Glasses a little bit better, especially Luke. I hope you're listening to this, by the way. If, and make I'll make notes of that comment if you happen to join the watch along for that game tomorrow. If you are, then I'll let you know. So that's that out of the way. Um, so for the Sheffield United game, obviously tomorrow, um, obviously there's going to be an interesting team selection because obviously there are quite a few players missing now. Obviously Hamza Chowdhury's out injured as well. He came off in the second half of that Derby County game as well. He picked up a knock. Um, Patson Daka's obviously come back from AFCON. Um, obviously, I don't expect him to make the squad because obviously it's far too quick. And so I think the West Brom game, the next one on the Monday, that's the most likely um, fixture that you might see Patson Daka come back into the squad. Um, so I've got the lineup builder set up. Just bear with me a second. Let's see. Just bear with me a minute. Let me just get this set up for you. There you go. So, okay. So, this is my lineup builder for who I'd like to see play and be on the subs bench for this game um, against Sheffield United. Um, so, my formation for this one, I think this is obviously going to be a 4-2-3-1, more likely. That's the way I think it's going to be. Um, so, the goalkeeper, I think it's more likely to be Jakob for me. Um, yeah, it's more likely, I think, to be Jakob. But I think he hasn't played well in recent games. The Derby County match, he was a bit better. Um, so I think he's worth keeping his place, I think, in the team for now. Even though I still felt Bekovic should have played, but hey ho. He stuck faith with Jakob. So that's where I'm expecting it to be. Left back, I think is the obvious choice. Luke Thomas. Um, yeah, Luke Thomas is more likely to be left back by the looks of it. Um, yeah, I just think he tends to have an odd game or two where he plays well, but in certain other games he tends to have a stinker because that side of the pitch is where, for most of the season, we tend to get badly exposed. So I think this is the position where I think in January we're gonna have to strengthen, not just the centre forward, just so the forward has gone off. Um, the right back, it's more likely I think to be Ricardo, um, and he's going to be the captain most likely. So yeah, I think this is the right kid for Ricardo to start. Um, Now centre backs. Um, Now it's a question of whether Yannick Vestergaard is going to make it. That is the $1 million question. Um, yeah, that's a tricky one. Uh, Not seen anything to suggest they may come straight back in, but I'll have a look and see for myself. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just having a look on my phone. Yeah, so um, just before I do that, just to let's see about players that are injured. Samari's are injured, obviously still. Christensen's are injured still. Suter's still not available. We obviously know Ramsey and Chowdhury are now out injured now, so this is the one. Yanni Vestergaard, who is touch and go to return to the squad after missing the last two games with a head knock. So obviously we know Harry Winks is not going to be part of it. Um, so yeah, he's touch and go, Yanni Vestergaard. I think if he was 100% fit, Yanni makes it. But I think just because of the fact it's touch and go, I don't think he does. I think for me, it's going to be more likely, I feel, to be the same centre backs, Nelson and Atoli, I think, as a result. Um, Now, Okoli did okay against Derby the other night with his defensive work. The one thing that he's is a major weakness to Okoli is his ability on the ball. Because obviously in the Watford game he cost us a goal when he gave the ball away, um, whilst having the ball from the back. That is his weakness um, for me. So that that's why I think Vestergaard and Nelson I think are the best centre back partnership at the moment that we've got. With Ben Nelson, on the other hand, I think he's been superb. I think he's nailed that position for us. He's definitely nailed it. Um, so I think, yeah, I think this is more likely to be the back four. I think for this game tomorrow. Um, Now midfield, well, more likely to be this fella, John James. He is definitely. Where would we be without this fella? And obviously, the positive talks um, that Marty's come out and has revealed about Jordan James that he's staying to the end of the season despite what Wens were planning on doing. So that's really good news. So I don't think there's going to be any worries this January regarding him being here or not. So I think he's definitely staying by the looks of it to see the season out. Um, Obviously, the other player alongside him would be Oliver Skip. I think he's definitely improved this season, without a shadow of a doubt. And yeah, I think his midfield partnership with JJ has been fantastic for me. So that's going to be the double pivot for this game. Um, Now, the number 10 position, I think is more likely to be Cordova-Reid. It's going to be this fella. I think he is definitely starting to pick up form over the last month or so when he's played in that position. So, and obviously with Ramsey now out injured, I think Cordova-Reid has got that position nailed. So yeah, I think it's going to be Cordova-Reid in the 10. Obviously, the wide men, I think it's going to be Kataru, obviously. Abdul's going to be playing. Um, Now, Mavididi, I think, will play as well. Yeah, those are more likely to be the wide players um, for that game against Sheffield United, Kataru and Mavididi. Um, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Now, centre forward, I still think it's more likely to be Ayu, but I see some arguments to suggest that you could put Silko Thomas there, or you could put Jake Evans there. Now, I can understand that, but obviously, Silko Thomas played in that position um, for the remainder of that game against Derby. Um, so I think so. That's more likely to be the starting 11, I think, for tomorrow against Sheffield United. So Stolicek in goal. Fullbacks, the Thomas, Ricardo, the centre backs, Nelson and McCauley. Skip, James in the double pivot. Dickled over Weed as a 10. Mavididi, Wataru out in the wider areas. And Jordan Ayew as the 9. Now, the subs, I think, will be, obviously, that is going to be Begovic, the sub keeper. That's mainly been the case throughout. I think the now who's going to be the other subs? That's going to be the main conundrum. Because there's talk about Silka Thomas. Obviously, he's going to be on the bench. I think. Um, so I think Jake Evans could make the bench. Now, this is an interesting development, actually. I've just seen it actually. Now, he's been the mystery. He's been the mystery. Wanya Marcel. He was so apparently what's come out is that he has been struggling with an injury this season, but has been recently back in training. So, on that basis, he could be an option to make the squad. Um, there's also talk about Logan Briggs. Um, that could be the number 10 option because he's obviously played and there for the under 21s. If more defensive cover is craved, then Kevin Gray could be an option as well. So, but I still think you need to put. Um, I think he's probably more likely to be sat on the bench, more likely um, than anything else. Um, face. So, um, now I think Louis Page. I think he's definitely going to make the bench. He'll definitely make it. Um, now, Wanya Marcel. Obviously, Monga's going to make the bench, so he's definitely making it. So that's one, two, three, four nailed. So you need about six. Sorry, five. Beg your pardon. So I need to have five more. Um, so because obviously Kawanza's not going to make it. Daka's not going to make it. Um, this is tricky. I like to see Logan Briggs make it. I think Briggs. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Logan Briggs to be amongst the bench from the under 21s. I don't know. I've obviously not watched the under 21 games, but I like to see him make the bench if that's the case. Because obviously Ramsey's now out, injured, of course. Um, he's an attacking midfielder, from what I understand. So it's a big shout, obviously. Um, Let's see. This is a tricky one. Because obviously Chowder is out injured now. Christensen's out. So this is probably you might be seeing some of the youngsters from the academy making the bench. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Um, oh, Christ almighty. Um, hmm, yeah, this is tricky. Because I think Silker Thomas, I think he's definitely going to make the bench. Because obviously he came on and played in that position over there. Um, hmm, I think Silker Thomas, I think is better suited to play out wide. So I'm going to put him there. I'm going to put him there. And Jake Evans. I like to see him be an option for the centre forward role, personally, and see what he can do. So I think that's where my head's at with that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Oh my god, seven. So I need another two. So I think I go for I'd go with the other academy player from the academy. I forgot whose name it is. Um, so yeah, yeah, Kevin Gray is the person. Is Kevin Gray. So I think he's going to make it. Um, so on that basis, I think yeah, I think he'll be most likely to be that. I just like to see if Wanya Marcel has also played. Yeah, he's played as a 10 as well. Wanya Marcel, he's played as a number 10 also. Let me just have a look over myself. Yeah, he's played in a 10 in, as well. Um, let's see if I can. Just bear with me a second. Because obviously Logan Briggs. Normally this would have taken me um, this would have been easy for me to do. But obviously the problem now is we've got injuries. So yeah, I think for me, yeah, let's change that. Um, let's change that. Um, let's put Logan Briggs on this into this position. I think. Let's put him there, and let's put Wanya Marcel. Let's put him there. So that is going. I think will be the bench and the starting 11. I think that's my gut instinct. Um, yeah, I think that's more likely to be the team. Um, so yeah, I think that's that really. Um, regarding my team, um, hopefully you were able to see that. Um, so let's get back to it. Let me just sort this out. There you go. Hopefully that's sorted the problem out because it took a bit of time to um, work this through. Obviously, yeah, that's the team, the lineup I've gone for, the starting 11 and the bench. Um, because I just think, obviously, there's now injuries to certain players. Um, it's going to leave our squad a little bit stretched, so to speak. But at least, obviously, now, hopefully, now that's going to give some more um, players from the academy a chance, hopefully, because this is something that we need to do. Integrate some of the youth through to the first team potentially. So, also, I've got to mention something else. Sammy Braybrook, who was on loan to Newport um, for the first half of the season. His loan deal is set to end. Um, it's it's about to end. But obviously, we we now we now know he's going to be heading out again for another loan for the second half of the season, and they've spoken highly about him. Um, from what we know down there, they've really taken to Sammy and his performances, and 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 I think that that only bodes well for him, and hopefully for the second half of the season on loan, whichever club he goes to, it keeps it going, and hopefully for next season we can integrate him into our first team, and that's what loan deals are for. You integrate young talent and give them opportunities um, to play week in week out, and that's what I like to see. Like for example with Michael Golding, I like to see him go out on loan to a club in League One or League Two even, so he can play regularly and help improve his development, so he can experience um, um, regular first team football and get a feel of what is of some physicality and work on that, because that's what part of your development is. You, this is why loan deals are so vital for young talented players. I mean, it it helps you in the long run. That's what we need to do. We've got, and hopefully, and um, Stanley Braybrook comes through that, and just like we did with Kinnan just before when we sent him out on loan with it was with Luton Town, I believe. They spoke highly of him a few years ago when he was on loan there, and lo and behold, he comes into our first team and excelled. He excelled, and now obviously it obviously didn't work out with Chelsea when they signed him, but he's gone to Everton since then. Obviously, he's out injured at the moment, but he's having a good season over there. and I'm pleased for the lad. And I think the Everton fans have warmed to him, I think, as well. And that's good. And I'm pleased for the man. And that's um that is that's a good thing because I think this is what you need to do when it comes to um developing players when they're out on loan. Because we obviously did that with Barnes as well, Harvey Barnes. He was exactly the same. Went out on loan, comes back to us, excelled. Went to Newcastle, and he's excelling over there. So that's good use of loans. If people don't think that, then they're in cuckoo land. They don't have a clue, and that's what I think um, about young players going on loan. That's just my view on it. I just think it helps um, young the young talent, and hopefully we're gonna see that with another couple of players potentially. Um, I know Monga's had, had has had a bit of experience of that. Obviously, he's a bit. This is not in a disrespectful way towards him, but a bit lightweight. Not that's not in a disrespectful way or any way, shape, or form. But that is understandable because he's a very young lad at such a young age. Um, and I think he'll go on and continue his development at a massive, huge football club. Um, he's that talented. I was just waiting a lot. Obviously, I don't think he's quite ready to be a regular starter, which is fine. Understand that, but he can make an impact off the bench. He can definitely do that, especially when the defense is um, absolutely shattered when they're not completely at full throttle. Like where in contrast to when he starts, they're on full throttle, and he doesn't quite excel normally. And I think that's something I don't. I'm not completely too fussed or bothered about. I'm not that annoyed about that because that's part of your development. It's just the way it is, really. So yeah, I just think I just think it's gonna be an interesting second half to the season. Um, yeah. Um, and one last thing I'd like to say before I end the stream. Um, obviously, this is only my my second stream um, of Foxes Unleashed, but obviously we're coming up to the end of 2025. Obviously, it's been for as a whole for the club been a really bad year, really bad year. It's a one to forget regarding as far as the football club is concerned. It's been a terrible, terrible, terrible year. Um, endured so many lows. The only main highlight was Jamie Vardy's farewell send off um, um, and getting that milestone of 200 goals. That was a most unbelievable way to sign off. And obviously, he's excelling down in Italy, obviously now, which is sensational. Really, he's coming up to 39. And to be doing that is unbelievable. Really, it's a testament to the man. But anyways, yeah, 2026 is upon us now. Is starting to come upon us. Um, Hopefully, 2026 um, will be a bit more of a positive year than 2025 it was in regards to the football club. There may be still be some lows along the way because obviously with the points deduction that's looming around us, which I'm still expecting us to receive. Um, how on the Because obviously we want that over and done with. We are sick and tired of this PSR thing regarding the points deduction dragging on and on and on. It's ridiculous. It is really, really angering me. It is really pissing me off. Um, the longer we are having to wait. I mean, obviously, Kay from Blue TT Glass has already spoken about it. She's hacked off about it, and understandable because we do not like waiting. We hate waiting, and as long as the rest of the fans base are, we hate waiting. If you're going to punish us, and I'm talking about the EFL and the Premier League, if you're going to punish us, give out the points penalty, then do it. Just do it. What are you waiting for, man? I know it's obviously down to the authorities as well, but if you're going to punish us, if you're going to give us the points penalty, like if it's 5, 6, 7, or 8 points, whatever it is, if you want to give it out to us, then just do it. Just do it, because I'm sick and tired of waiting, like the majority of the fan base are, right? Because it's making us. I don't know what the best word is. It's absolutely testing our patience. It is absolutely sickening us to the back. It's just ridiculous now. Just get on with the flipping job. Um, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Obviously, went on about the PSR side of it, but hey. Anyways, Hope 2026 happens to be a little bit more positive. I'm not expecting us to do anything that much in the league. I think because of that reason, um, we'll have some ups, um, we'll have some downs. Um, I think I'm expecting the consistently inconsistent pattern with this team throughout the rest of the season to continue. So that's that's more likely. That is the more likely aspect that I'm going to be seeing from the team, pretty much. Which is why I had them down in the lower end of the table in the championship, not to be relegated, by the way. Yeah, before you start wondering what am I talking about, because that is not what I'm doing, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be as realistic as I can. If it weren't for that, if it wasn't for the PSR issues, if it weren't for that, then I would expect us to be a little bit higher, right? I'm not saying this because I'm a bit bitter on that, but I'm just saying because of that points penalty that is looming. That's why I'm preparing myself for it. I'm preparing myself for it. I'm not saying that because I'm a moody, moaning so and so. And it's not that. I'm just being realistic. I'm not expecting anything, right? I'm just not. I'm just being calm about it. There's no point in just get shouting and moaning about it. There's no point in it because I made it clear back in the summer. during my rant that I did on the stream that I did in the summer of last year, in the summer before the season started. Um, so yeah, I just think we'll probably finish round mid-table. I think this in the championship. I think so because I'm more than happy to accept another season in this league. I'm more than happy to accept it. I'm not expecting us to get promoted at all. I'm just not. So, anyways, um, that's gonna be it for this stream. Um, thank you for listening. Whoever's joined in tonight. If you listened to that and watched it, hope it went well. This stream without any issues or anything like that. I'll take a look at it back for myself. Um, um, for regarding to any future streams ahead, I may do a certain few. It might include potentially um, um, the one idea I'm thinking about is potential January transfer targets that I'd like to see us try and sign if it's possible. Um, but I might do some scouting. Um, have a look around and try and scout. Um, um, try and do a bit of a presentation or do a list, small list for each position. I'm not saying it's you're not. I'm not saying it's definitely going to. It's definitely going. That does not mean we're going to get them. We're not in that position. I'm afraid we're just not. I'm just writing down the list of players of options I ideally would like us in terms of the player to go and get, to try and get, if it's possible. If it's possible. Not saying we will, but I'm just gonna put down a list and see if it can be done. If it's realistic and is possible. Because for me, I think you have to scout around um, the second tier European market, I think, and not just the championship market as well. That you have to look around. It's that's that's the best route. So, anyways, that's the future stream I may look at doing. So, anyways, thank you for listening in tonight. Um, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So, until then, Happy New Year to everyone, and hope you enjoy 2026. And and all I can say to you, one thing left to say as well.